While investigating a symbol called the interrobang, a hybrid question mark exclamation point created in the 1960s, I came across a website dedicated to the symbol at www.interrobang-mks.com. At first sight, it seemed unremarkable. A single page bearing a picture of the interrobang and a few paragraphs relating its story. But at the bottom was an email address for one Pen Spec. Without much thought, I dashed off a message asking whether Pen Spec happened to know anything more about the character, and promptly moved on to other things. The penny dropped the next day. The MKS in interrobang-mks.com must surely refer to Martin K. Spector, the interrobang's creator. Penspec, who habitually sent her emails without a signature, had to be Martin's widow, Penny. I was astonished. I was corresponding with the wife of the man who had invented one of the first new marks of punctuation for decades, if not centuries. The story of the interrobang was suddenly a living, breathing piece of history. Emboldened, I sought out other people involved in the world of unconventional punctuation, and more conversations followed. I talked on the phone to Josh Greenman, a New York journalist who had invented a sarcasm mark, and to Paul Senger, an expert on spaces between words, invisible punctuation, if you will. I corresponded with Baz Jacobs, the Dutch designer of an irony mark for the type foundry Underwear, with Doug Kerr, the AT&T engineer responsible for the appearance of the hash mark on telephone keypads, and with William H. Sherman, the world's foremost authority on the manicule or pointing hand, who helped me out of an etymological dead end. These typographic conundrums, these shady characters hiding in plain sight, were too good to be passed over like so many periods and commas. This book is here to bring them into the light of day, and I can only hope to do justice to Penny Spector and all the others who have helped me on the way here. How to use this book. There's no wrong way to listen to this book, but be aware that later chapters occasionally use terms explained earlier in the book. Where possible, cross-references have been added to help guide those who jump straight in to a particular chapter. Chapter 1. The Pilcrow. The pilcrow crops up with surprising frequency, dotted about websites with a typographic bent, for instance, or teaming up with the section symbol in legal documents to form picturesque arrangements. The pilcrow also appears in Microsoft Word, where it adorns a button that reveals hidden characters such as spaces and carriage returns. For all this quiet ubiquity, the pilcrow gets short shrift in books on typography and punctuation. Take the trouble to look it up, and in most cases, the humble pilcrow warrants only a few lines, dismissed briskly as a paragraph mark that is only appropriate when brevity is important. More generous definitions might run to mentioning that it has fallen out of common use, and that it is sometimes used to indicate a footnote. No mention of where its reverse P shape comes from, or its name. For the pilcrow, this is as good as it gets. This is a crying shame. The pilcrow is not a mere typographic curiosity, useful only for livening up a coffee table book on graphic design, or pointing the way to a paragraph in a mortgage deed, but a living character with its roots in the earliest days of punctuation. Born in ancient Rome, refined in medieval scriptoria, appropriated by England's most controversial modern typographer, and finally rehabilitated by the personal computer, the pilcrow is intertwined with the evolution of modern writing. It is the quintessential shady character. The orthographic world of ancient Greece
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.